Try this one, Spike. Now you see me? Now you don't.
Hey, where'd Mirage go?
Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the FansToys Phantasm, their take on a very G1-esque Mirage in the Masterpiece scale. I do want to say that he looks pretty good. He's got his pluses and minuses. He does have a few faults to him. He's not perfect. But I did get this from Show Z. I'm going to leave a link down below where you can get yours. But the big question is he better than Transform Element, which is a third of the price? We'll talk about this and more coming up. First of all, let's take a look at the packaging, and I think it does look pretty good overall. It is very FansToys reminiscent of what we get from Takara, so it's similar yet different. It's its own style, featuring the actual product on the back, and Jive coming soon. Alright, so let's take a quick look at this guy, and I think that he does look pretty good with, of course, that metallic paint, and he does have a pretty much coat of paint all over him, so it looks great in that regard. And of course he has a nice head sculpt, which he has 4 other faces, another head and 3 additional faces on top of that, which is pretty cool. And from the back he is pretty clean, so all over he is pretty clean. There are a few nitpicks that I'll get into as we get to stuff like articulation and all of that and comparisons, but I mean, it's definitely a Mirage, definitely a tune accurate Mirage, and he does look pretty good overall. Now, I do want to say that he does come with a couple of accessories. So he does come with this gun right here, which tabs in from the back, which is fine. He does not have much going on with the hands, though. It's like a rudimentary kind of hand there going on. He does have this missile launcher, which is okay. Now, there's some things you can do with this missile launcher. With this little piece here in the up position, you can wiggle it out, and then it'll close, and it should hold in better. Closed, I don't know. Doesn't really do much. Thought it was something like that. Anyway, you can slide this on and have sort of an extension piece for the missile if that's something that you want. And there you go. I actually think it looks better without it. And it's way better than, you know, back when you used to buy a Masterpiece Transformer from a random seller overseas and just get a missile. Remember those days? But yeah, it looks pretty good too. Alright, so there are the 2 different alternate heads and faces, which I really can't tell a whole lot of difference between the 2 heads, which is kind of weird when they do that and you really can't tell the difference between the heads. And then you're going to get a smiling, laughing face that you can, let's get it, it's all zoomed in. Smiling, laughing face. And we're going to get a kind of, that yelling, screaming face. These just kind of pop off, pop on, but yeah, I'm kind of happy with the way it comes. All right, so quickly let's get into some articulation. So with this, his head can go up to here and then side to side, and not a whole lot down. Shoulder all the way out to here, and this part keeps coming undone on me all the way around. This bicep swivel is fine, but this piece, just as you move it, comes out. So something I can tighten up probably once I get it back in bot mode. I will probably do that. Single jointed elbow, which it goes past the 90, and I thought because of this screw there would be a double joint, but it's not. So we do have the hand that's kind of like typewriter fingers. And here's the weird thing about this. You can make it look like a full forearm if that's what you want, by doing this, and then it leaves kind of a gap in the bottom and hollowness. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do. Do you want to look like this, or do you want to look like this? So kind of up to you. Transform Element made their decision. we'll get into that here in a little bit. Okay, you do have some ratcheted waist swivel there. Not much of an ab crunch, but a little bit going on right there. You can flip out these and go all the way out to the side friction and forward. Now, I do like how the hip skirts hide away, so that's a good thing right there. You do have the bicep swivel and all that kind of stuff. You do have a, I think it's, nope, it's not double jointed, but it goes all the way to there. You can feel the die cast in the feet and a few other parts while you're doing all of this. And then the feet, they do kind of just a little bit of movement there. So not an extreme amount of articulation, but I keep having to fix this right here. Okay, so here he is next to the transform element. This is like a $150 figure versus a $50 figure. I think it was 53 or 63 or something right when he came out. And so with that, I'm going to compare a little bit. I like the paint. I do like the darker blues on this better than on this one here. Now, I'm a little bit torn because I kind of like the silver elements that are in here, here, and here. So that's kind of a difference. That's something I kind of like too. And then looking at it, the legs look a little cleaner in this area, and this part here, for some reason, seems like a little gappy and just really thick, and this is thinner, and it gets the same job done. So with that, I kind of like the legs a little bit better on that one, and then turning them to the side, they both look pretty clean from the side. And I will say the hardware is better, so yes, it does have better hardware on the FansToys. This is thinner, which is kind of good, and this is thicker, so I mean, just kind of depends on which one you like the better, the more, the best. And from the back, they both look very clean. Just a little bit, probably, with this, I mean, you don't really notice it, but I guess that does look a little bit better for the FansToys. They both have the wheel on the side and all that kind of stuff going on, but you don't have the forearm problem at all. Forearms look good no matter what on the transform element, and you don't have the shoulder coming undone. So there's pluses and minuses and good and bad points to this overall. And one thing I do want to point out too is that this is a slightly different color. It's not white right here, and we saw that with a Mirage. With a Legend scale Mirage that really stood out, and this is a little bit more subtle, subdued, and it's more subtle than the promo pics. So with this, which one's better? Well, it's up to you, but this thing holds its own. Transform element really does hold its own to FansToys. FansToys is not the clear winner right here. All right, so the next comparison I'm going to show is next to the Carbots and, of course, Prime. That is the X-Transbots version of Trailbreaker. So, a couple things. First off, he does match sort of that Toon aesthetic, what you're going for with Takara, and you can see kind of Takara taking the old mold going up into the plus range, and then the new direction kind of with the Hound. I was hoping that FansToys was going to go with a new scale. I feel like the Carbots are still just a bit too small. I'd like them somewhere between, maybe 3/4 the size of Prime, not so much like half the size of Prime. But anyway, they didn't do that. They did that with their Stunticons. I was hoping they were Stunticon height, and I would have liked that a little bit better. But it still looks good, though. It still looks good, and it'll fit with the existing scale. So now for the transformation, we are going to do a few things with this guy. We are going to turn the arms like so, close up the hands, and fold them in like so. Then the problematic area on the other side isn't as much of a problem in this one, but it's there so that you can collapse in the arm for this transformation like so. And then now that that's collapsed in, the arm is more or less ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You got to make sure that they're in this form. You can't have the boxed out with hollow. It has to be like this because it's going to fit in, notch in. All right, so this one should be a little easier because it always wants to go the wrong way. Fold that in. Guess I should have rotated it first, huh? Guess it matters. It matters. And then put that to the outside like so. Then we're going to fold this up. Now we got to get this. I'm going to take this missile off. I'm just not going to bother with it, but other people probably will try to bother with putting it inside of. You can put it. You can tuck it inside there. There's a way to still keep it in. As you can see, there's going to be a way to hide it way deep down in there, which I'm not going to bother with it. It doesn't really matter to me. Separate these right here so that we can lift this up. Oh, we need to pull the sides out. Rotate the head around. Pull the wheels out. And then the heads, this should be going all the way up, it's going to notch, and that's metal against metal right there, so that's pretty harsh. Now, there's a little tab under here. We can take that out and then tab it into here. All right, and then this, if all aligned right, this comes up to here, and then this tabs into that. If I got it all aligned right, but... Next, we are going to rotate around the waist. Kind of like you did right out of the box. When you took it out of the box, you had to rotate the waist. And so, of these pieces right here, I didn't show it, but in bot mode, you can have it out or tucked back. I mean, I like it tucked back because I like the more heroic look of the waistline. So let's unhinge this, and then we're going to rotate the wheel around. And then we're going to kind of open up the leg and all this kind of stuff. And then we have a tab here. This panel can be a little scary untabbing right there, so that you can now get all of this up. And then we do need to rotate this foot here on the back. It needs to rotate around, kind of get the toes up so that we can pull that off, and then you have this, more or less. And so it's sort of in position here. Let's see if we can get it all aligned just right. Like so, and then like so. So getting it moved in closer. So what you're doing is you're folding the thigh to the outside. Instead of forward, it's going to the outside. And then we're bringing the knee back straight so that, as you can see, it makes it closer in there so they can all tab together. Which is interesting. Interesting how they did that. Okay, so I'm just going to make the other side look the same as this. So pull this out. Pull this out. Pull this tab here out. That's up. And then get this taken apart so that this can fold up. Really, I guess we can go ahead and do that other knee piece right now. So, as you can see, looking good, looking good. And then we do need to do this foot again, folding the toe up, and then folding this around. So interesting, just even like the little notch clears everything, so that's pretty cool too. Okay, so we got a few things to do here. Let's get the shoulder pieces here tabbed in, and then we're going to slide down the side pieces of the shoulder into place. And then this, get your hip skirts. Are my hip skirts misaligned? What happened there? That should go in. Make sure your hip skirts are aligned. That was misaligned on mine. And then now we can connect these pieces to here. Let's go ahead and just close up these feet. I think it's going to be best to see how it goes from underneath. When you start closing all this up, just make sure everything kind of aligns right, which it did. Actually, quite nice. Quite nicely. So as you can see, you gotta, this part here has to clear this and all that kind of stuff. It's strange. It's clearing like multiple things at once. The other side cleared real easy. It's not clearing because I didn't rotate the wheel. Wow. Simple, but you have to follow every little step just right, don't you? That's just the way it goes. Okay, so we're going to be tabbing stuff in left and right on this guy, starting from the bottom here. So I'm flipping upside down. These white tabs tab into the wheels, and then we have tabs tab into that, and then we've got panels, and these side pieces tab together kind of with an over under kind of a tabbing mechanism. And then these pieces fold down as fillers to help fill it out. And then right here, this is, there we go. That's making that a lot easier. And then just like we're just gonna go through here and tab things in, folding those panels down too. So there's these panels, these panels, these panels, these that have to get lined up just right, and you just go around. It's weird too, like almost with every FansToys transformation, you do end up just at the end, just everything seems to slot together just right. So I'm not having a little trouble in my front though. All right, so here it is in the alt mode, and it's a nice looking alt mode. It has, of course, that beautiful paint all over the side right here, and this word seems to line up okay, even though they're on separate pieces. There's still a bit of a gap between the I and the T. From the back, looks pretty good, and from the side, looks pretty good. Yeah, I did kind of go off camera a little bit with my transformation, now that I was kind of looking at that, but, well, I guess I'm not going to do it again. One thing that I think is kind of strange is the wheel well. The wheel kind of comes out a bit. It's to give it some more rolliness to it, I guess. And so I didn't show that, but it's so slight. It's almost like it doesn't. It's not even really necessary in a way, but it's very, very slight. The wheel itself has like a double extending telescoping wheel. I do like the chrome on the engine, so they kept. Well, it's not really chrome, but shiny silver paint on the engine, metallic paint, and we got the I guess those exhaust or something like that, whatever vents. But yeah, and it's solid. It's like a heavy little brick. Looks pretty good. It does pretty much what you want it to, but let's see what it looks like compared to another Masterpiece third-party version of Mirage. Okay, so this is MMC's Mirage, which when I got the Transform Element one, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep Transform Element in bot mode, and then this one got converted or relegated to the slot of alt mode. So with that, I think it's a fantastic alt mode that MMC did. I do like the silver to it, and it although it doesn't have like the blue's not painted on this one, it has a shiny plastic. Unless that is painted, it might be painted. I don't know, but I always thought it was shiny plastic. But looking at it now, it maybe is painted. But with them side by side, I like the metallic paint better than what was going on with this one. But both modes look great. They both look really good. I'm still having trouble getting this to kind of tab in, but that's probably a me thing, not a FansToys thing, but that's how they look. Let's get a different angle on these bad boys so you can kind of see that too. Like, so similar. Like, they both look great. I don't really think that any of them are bad in the alt mode. What other comparisons we got? This is the FansToys Spindrift 2.0, the We Want to Win version, and then this is the 2.0 of X Transbox Cup, the one they gave me for free. And that's how everything looks like from sort of a side angle right there. And next to Prime, this is the KO. Been through some stuff. He's seen some stuff in his day. Yeah, there it is. So, I don't know, is that believable? Is that yeah. The scale for alt mode definitely is not believable. Anyway. Alright, so what do I think about the Phantasm, the FansToys FT-49? I think it is a nice looking figure, painted well, everything that you would expect from FansToys, with the hardware, the ratchets, and it's pretty solid. It feels very hefty, and I like the metallic paint, for the most part. It does kind of go really close to the tune, which I do like it going close to the tune. I kind of miss some of the silver accents a little bit. And with that, I was kind of hoping it was a little bit taller. And the really big negative, of course, is the fact that the shoulder kind of right here, the bicep keeps popping out on me. That just might be mine, though. So really, I'm not going to hold it against it because maybe mine's the only one that does that. But still overall, it's a nice looking figure, gets the job done, and what you'd expect with FansToys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will have a link to Show Z where you can get yours. Like and subscribe to your hanger out.
Over here!
Disappearing. It's the best disguise of all.
That'd be fun to see how long it would take for me to get this thing back into bot mode. So we pull that up and we can get through these panels. We got to get to these panels. Got to get to these panels. We got to break away all of this. Well, that worked. And all of this. Then we got to start moving all of this out. There it goes. I'm gonna fold this down to get out of the way for the rotation of the foot. Gotta get that panel back. Oh, come back. Gap filler. We need you. We need the gap filler. Flip this around. I guess we should work on that too. Get that out of the way so we can fix this leg. Got the leg. One leg seems to be done. Let's do the next leg. Seem to remember having had trouble with that one, but that was because I just had the wheel not done right. Like so. Okay, let's see about getting this flipped down, around, out, back out, this down, this down. See, we need that gap filler still up, this folded to the in. There we go. And the legs done. Nope. Yep. Legs done. We do some stuff with the upper torso. Disconnecting this. I'm going to push this out like so to get the shoulder working and everything back right. This actually all just worked out for me. Push this one out again. And it's funny because it just almost just falls right into place like it should. Which, that's good. I'll take it. I'll take it. We're going to untab this. Pull this back up. And then pull that back around. A multitude of things that need to happen here at the exact same time. I have to pull this out and around. versus head. Make sure everything's going in just right. And it looks like it is. Looks like it is. Right. Yeah, looks like it's all doing what it's supposed to do. We'll flip this around. Go back to this thing not holding in. Back to bot mode. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.